Hello, 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 ladies and gents. Hope you guys had a great, I believe today is Monday. Back to the grind. We're all back. I noticed you guys are all back as well on Reddit. It's fucking awesome. I missed absolutely grinding questions before lock with you guys and talking. So glad to have you guys back as well for probably a great weekend. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. All of these videos get posted on this subreddit right here. It's called DF Sports. I make updates with all of the news that comes out. You can find my post. My username is Shook. Like I said, make updates with all the news that comes out. You can talk strategy here, talk to people, ask me questions about the slate. I will always respond to you guys. So let's take a look at my lineup tonight. Let's move these tabs to the middle. And unfortunately, did not get into the cash tonight. But I feel very good about my process tonight. So here's what my process was. By the way, I also have premium content in my Discord. Link will be down below in the comments, where I have in-depth content going over each slate, player pools for cash GPPs, cores for cash GPPs. I also offer XFL content. So if you want that football stuff back in your life, we've been absolutely crushing the XFL. Have that. We also have people playing PGA. We have MLB coming up. We got NASCAR every Sunday. Some people even play on Saturdays because they're fucking degens. But have everything there. So that'll be down below in the comments. So let's go over my process to today. So we got news that Sengun was a midday downgrade. We got news Jalen Green was a midday downgrade. I thought they both weren't going to play, but unfortunately it was only Sengun that didn't play. But my process today was I wanted to get on this Houston game and I wanted to get on this Utah game. I thought Charlotte, Indiana was going a bit over-owned in my opinion, and I thought the low-owned game of Houston, like the Houston guys and the Utah guys, and the Sacramento guys were going a bit under-owned, and I think that game had as much of a chance of being optimal as that Charlotte Pacers game did. Unfortunately, we were all wrong, and it was the Minnesota game. That game was absolutely wild. But that was my process. I was all over Tari Eason as everyone else was, but I was all, you guys know, whenever Jabari Smith is at the 5, I play Jabari Smith. You guys know this by now. Whenever Markkanen is out, you guys know this by now, I play Kelly Olynyk. Like, whenever those two guys are out, you guys don't even have to look at my lineup. You guys know, I'm playing Olynyk, I'm playing Jabari Smith. Also, with no Sengun, they're going to run their offense completely through Kevin Porter Jr. So I didn't understand why he was only 10% owned. It didn't work out. He had a very bad first half. He only had 12 fantasy points in the first half, but I would play him 10 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times again in this spot. And then, yeah, hitting on Houston. I told everyone in Discord, Jabari Smith, Tari Eason, Kevin Porter Jr. That felt very good hitting on those low owned pieces there. And then another thing that I didn't really understand was why was Agbaji half the ownership of Fontecchio? By the way, I love the Italian Olympic goat Fontecchio. I played him a lot for the Olympic DFS, but that was another thing that I just didn't understand. Why is Fontecchio projecting for double the ownership of Agbaji? Agbaji is a key part of this Utah Jazz rotation. I thought there was actually a bit of volatility with Fontecchio. I mean, he played a ton, obviously, but they could have easily went to more Rudy Gay. They could have played bigger. There was more volatility with him. So I easily just told everyone I prefer Agbaji to Fontecchio, but like they were about the same to me. But I told everyone in Discord that Agbaji was much safer. The core that I had for today was Taylor Horton Tucker, Tari Eason, Domantas Sabonis, and Agbaji. So 2 out of 2 are on the core. Taylor Horton Tucker, massive foul trouble and didn't play in the fourth. They closed with Chris Dunn. And then Sabonis just finally came back down to earth. Knew it would happen eventually, just was hoping it wasn't tonight in a really good spot. But I'm very happy with the way that I built my lineup today. Hit on a lot of pieces and hit on more stuff like great days in the Discord. Even with Sabonis, we had a lot of people having really, really good days in the Discord. I feel like I hit on all my low owned plays today. Like, these are my favorite plays in the slate, considering ownership. Tari Eason, smash. Jabari, smash. KPJ was fine. Jalen Brunson, smash. Nick Richards, smash. Steph Curry, smash. Sabonis, bust. Fox, smash. Kelly Olynyk, smash. What else do I need to say? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 10 players that I thought were going under owned on the slate, by the way, I told everyone I was posting my favorite GPP plays in this channel. Only 2 of them busted. I would say that's pretty good. So, yeah, really happy with the way I built my lineup tonight. Being all over Houston, being all over Utah, I felt great about it. If Sabonis and THD just have, normal games, probably having a pretty big night here. So, I got some stuff in this video for you guys that I don't think the field is going to recognize, and that's specifically in this Pelicans game, which we will go over it when we get to it, which I don't think the field or anyone else doing stuff is going to realize this. So get excited for that. All right, let's go over the slate. Washington at Orlando. No coups. So I like both Porzingis. I like Beal quite a bit. I think they're both a bit underpriced without Kuzma in this offense. I don't necessarily like the matchup, but I'm not scared of it either. So the big, massive, massive bump goes to Porzingis. I like him more than Beal. Tougher matchup for Porzingis, but he's just too cheap with no Kuzma. So I like Porzingis a lot. I think Beal's a pretty good play. Even at 8,400, he gets a big usage bump with no Kuzma. Daniel Gafford, I would have preferred to play if Porzingis is out. Always prone to foul trouble. I think 5-1 seems about right for him. They're probably going to start Corey Kispert. He'll play a ton of minutes. He's very, very scoring reliant, but yes, he's a playable value in my opinion. And then the guy I like quite a bit is Denny Avdija. Probably plays around 30 minutes off the bench. He gets a huge boost as well with no Kuzma. Good point per minute guy, stuff the stat sheet. Played him here. He shot 1 of 9. Still on for 30 freaking fantasy points. That's not going to happen again. He is going to absolutely punish the faders tomorrow. So I like Denny a lot. And I like Porzingis Beal a lot. Monte, Delon, they're kind of split the point guard duties. I mean, Monte's playable, but I don't love it. I think I'm just looking to the main guys here for Washington. Let's move on to Orlando. Good matchup here, quite a bit. I think Banchero's a good GPP play just because he has flash upside. Floor has been pretty low of late, but they're going to run a pretty tight rotation here with Orlando. Guy that can do a little bit of everything, so I think he's a fine tournament play. I do prefer Fultz to Banchero because Fultz has shown the higher floor of late with, I believe, a little bit more upside. He's also playing pretty big minutes. I think he's fine, not going to go out of my way to roster him, but fine. You guys know, I always want to target Daniel Gafford, so I think Wadakar Jr. is a fine GPP play, even at this price tag. Franz seems like a pretty safe play to me at 6'3", but a little bit overpriced for my liking when everyone's healthy. He'll probably get you like 30 fantasy points, which, sure, whatever. No Suggs, so like I said, you're going to see big minutes for Fultz. You're probably going to see around 30 minutes for Cole Anthony. I think he seems like a pretty safe play at 5'9". Seems priced about right, maybe a little bit pricey. Still think it's okay, though. Gary Harris, kind of the same with Corey Kispert. He'll play around 30 minutes. Very, very scoring dependent. I think I prefer Kispert to Harris, but they're fine for salary relief. All right, let's cover Detroit. Detroit at Atlanta. Good spot here. So with Ivy back, it kind of does kill the upside with Ivy and Hayes. Like, one of them will probably have a pretty good game. One of the others will probably have a bad game. I will say I think the floor is higher on Hayes. I think the ceiling is a bit higher on Ivy. I think both are okay GPP plays, but now they're getting to the price points to where I think they're about right. No Duran, no Stewart, no Bojan. I don't expect Isaiah Livers to play. So starting lineup here will be Hayes, Ivy, Magruder, Bagley, Wiseman. If that's the case, I kind of like both the bigs here. Bagley will also get backup 5 run as well. Both good point per minute guys. I expect both to play around 30 minutes. Even at their respective prices, I think they're both solid plays. I'm not paying max price for Magruder. He'll play a ton of minutes, but It's Rodney McGruder at almost 6K. I mean, if you want to ride the hot streak, be my guest. I will not be clicking at almost 6K Rodney McGruder. You're going to see rotational minutes for guys like Corey Joseph, stuff like that. I don't think it's necessary to go to these guys. I mean, Eugene, I guess at 4-5, I could see some interest in now that they have no Duran. So some interest in Eugene, but I'm mainly looking to I think Wiseman and Bagley are my two favorite plays on Detroit. And then some interest in Eugene. So yeah, let's go over Atlanta. So DeJounte Murray is questionable. If he's in a good matchup, I like Trey. I like Murray. Don't care. It's a good spot. Detroit has actually been keeping games close of late. Trey has shown a massive, massive ceiling of late. I think with the way he's playing right now, with the way he's stuffing the stat sheet, he's still too cheap. So I like Trey regardless. I think Murray's fine, but I do prefer Trey. Clint Capella, Okongwu, they're going to split the center minutes. I think it's a good spot for both. I think it's much better to go to Capella, but fine with either. Now that they're close in price, I do prefer Capella. John Collins is now, I think, a bit overpriced, but a safe play in my opinion. Hunter, kind of the same thing. Another safe play. You guys know the drill by now. When everyone's healthy, it's the same breakdown every single time. So, yeah, that'll do it if DeJounte Murray is in. If Murray is out, though, my guess is starting line would be Trey, Bog, Hunter Collins, Capella. Or, I know sometimes in spots like this, they don't start Bogdan. So I think the other potential starter would be Holiday. I really don't know, though. But it would make the most sense to start Bogdan. But I know in the past that they haven't done that. So we'll see. But if DeJounte Murray's out, I absolutely love Trae Young in a really good spot. Absolutely love him. He would be one of my favorite spend-ups on the slate. Capella, Okongwu, they don't really get a boost at all. Same with Collins. Collins, Hunter, they would still be playable. Too solid, maybe a bit of a boost. But I would really, really like Bogdan at 4-9. With no Murray, he should be a 5.5K to 6K player. So would really like Bogdan if Murray's out. I think you could even make the argument for Sadiq Bey at 4-3. He might have to play a bit more. Would be a fine tournament play. Solid point per minute guy with some upside, and I'm not going to play anyone else. Let's move on to Cleveland. So we have Jarrett Allen, questionable eye injury. So if he comes back, I expect him to be full go. If he is back, I do like him quite a bit at 6.2K. That does seem a bit too cheap. Mitchell, I think is okay at 8.8K. I think he should be around 9K, but fine. He's going to lead this way offensively. Don't like the matchup, but fine plays. Darius Garland, I think, is easier to get to because he's 7.5. I think 7.5 is a bit too cheap for him, so I think he's solid. And then, like I said, I like Jarrett Allen if he plays. Bigs have been absolutely destroying Brooklyn, and then obviously if Jarrett Allen's out, then I like Evan Mobley a lot at 7.7K in a very good spot against Claxton. I wouldn't go to LeVert. And then if Jarrett Allen's out, you could take shots on Chetty, but they've been saying they're kind of going with the hot hand off the bench. You saw the big game from Chetty, so we got extended. Then he only played 18 minutes. You saw the big game from Karis LeVert. He played 36. So they're going with the hot hand off the bench. So these guys are riskier. I think Rubio, regardless, will play around 20 minutes. I would feel better if Allen's out, even though I don't think it really impacts him too much. But would feel a bit more confident because then Mobley will have to play more at the 5, and that'll be more minutes have to go around. So would prefer Allen to be out to go to these secondary guys. But I think Rubio, Chetty, Lamar, they would definitely be playable if Jarrett Allen's out. Would be any standouts, would be fine. Last piece ends. On to Brooklyn. So really, really tough spot here. I have pretty much no interest in this team. I think Dinwiddie, Bridges, Claxton, Cam, they're all just really, really contrarian dart throws for me on the slate. So that's going to wrap it up for Brooklyn. That was pretty easy. Let's move on to the Spurs. So no Vassell, no Collins, no Sochan, no Bassey, no Trey Jones. He's doubtful. Doug McDermott, I believe, is questionable. Probable. So he will be in. So starting lineup. It's going to be, assuming Devontae Graham plays, which he's questionable. So it'll be Devontae Graham, Malachi Branham, Keldon Johnson, Keita Bates-Diop, Sandro Mamukalashvili. It's such a tongue twist. Mamukalashvili. If that is the case, Keldon's going to be the clear go-to guy. I'm ready for Payne because I know I'm going to play him tomorrow, and he's cost me infinite amounts of money. But would really like him, even at 7-4, would like him his ceiling quite a bit. Um, Branham, assuming he starts, which he will. If Devontae Graham's out, I love Branham. If Devontae Graham's in, I still think he's a very good play. If Devontae Graham is in and starting, which I assume he would, I really like Devontae Graham. Katie Bates Diop, assuming he starts at the 4, I really like for value at 3-7. Sandro, phenomenal point per minute guys starting at the 5. Absolutely love Sandro. I love the whole starting 5 for the Spurs tomorrow. If I had to rank them, Sandro 1, Graham 2, Branham 3, Katie Bates Diop 4, Keldon 5. Point per dollar, but I absolutely love all of the Spurs starting 5 tomorrow. If Graham is out, I would assume Blake Wesley will start. He would be a phenomenal value play at 3.8K. Would really like him. And then, like, with everyone shorthanded, I think Doug McDermott's in play. So, you guys ready to get popped tomorrow? Because I absolutely love the Spurs. And then let's get to the piece that I don't think people are going to realize. So, no Zion. It's a phenomenal matchup. I like Ingram. I like CJ. I think they're both solid. You guys remember last video? Oops. Guys remember last video when I showed you this and I told everyone in Discord not to play Larry Nance? This was Larry Nance's quote. Obviously, it's frustrating. I don't have much explosion. I can't jump too well, but I'm giving everything I have. I just want to be available. The more time that goes on, the better I'll look and start to feel. So, with that being Larry Nance's quote from the other day, I assume that he's still not going to be pretty well. I expect him to be pretty unhealthy for like another 1 or 2 games, but that's just a guess. That's a guess. But you have seen Jonas Valanciunas play 34 and 33 minutes the past 2 games, and I think that is direct correlation to Larry Nance literally not being able to jump. He said it himself. So, don't kill me. Please don't kill me if Jonas Valanciunas gets his minutes trolled tomorrow. Please do not kill me. This is all just a guess and a take, but I think it's going to be right. I think he looked pretty bad out there. Like, his injury is definitely bothering him. So, I think we get close to 30 minutes from Jonas Valanciunas tomorrow against the Spurs. I like him a lot. I mean, I know a lot of you might play him now because of this, but please don't kill me if they troll his minutes. Just please. But I think there's a good chance that they keep doing what they're doing with how well Jonas Valanciunas has been playing, with how banged up and bad Larry Nance has been and looked. So, yeah, it's scary. It's scary, but I do like Jonas Valanciunas a lot tomorrow. Trey Murphy, I think, is overpriced. Herb Jones, pretty safe play. Josh Richardson, revenge game if you're into that. Kind of like a filler value play. And then do not play Larry Nance. Do not. He is injured. He cannot jump. Do not play Larry Nance. I was shocked he was chalked that slate. And that's it for the Pelicans. Let's move on to Boston. So, good matchup here. I think, Tatum, Brown, I think they're reasonable. I think they're pretty solid, even at their respective prices, given the fast-paced matchup and the good matchup. So, yeah, I like Brown. I like Tatum. White, Brogdon, Horford, Robert Williams, kind of out of play for me. I think Smart's okay at like 5'3", but once again, not excited about it, and I'm not going to go to anyone else. Tough matchup here. Once again, not much stands out to me. Like, I think Sabonis is an okay GPP play. I will say Fox is still way too cheap at 8.3, so I do like Fox. If Herter is in, I'm not going to any of these wings. If he's out, then you can make the case for Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes, Malik Monk, who I think would all be okay plays at their respective prices. Kind of want to see how many minutes Trey Lyles played tonight coming back from injury. 26 minutes. Okay, so with Trey Lyles back, I think he's a solid value play at 4K. I don't think we get 26 minutes again, but I think the role is secure with him. I think we get around 20. I think he's a pretty good value play. Don't play Terrence Davis. I told everyone in Discord as well. Don't play Terrence Davis with Trey Lyles back. Somehow, like 8% of the field still played him. Yeah, Trey Lyles back. That's a no bueno. So, and then if Kevin Herter's in. I'm not playing any of the wings. I think Trey Lyles is still good, but the wings, no thank you. So Clippers at Oklahoma City Thunder. I really like SGA. I don't know why he's still sub 10K. So like SGA quite a bit. Josh Giddey, fine. Seems like a safe play at that price. Jalen Williams overpriced. Luke Dort's overpriced. Isaiah Joe will play mid 20s minutes. Fine, solid value. Jalen Williams will play like 20 minutes, but I don't think we can go there. Just too troll with the OKC rotation. That'll do it for OKC. So, on to the Clippers. Everyone's just like dart throws. Like Kawhi, Paul George, I think they're pretty safe. Westbrook, his minutes completely up and down. Like, if I knew Westbrook would play over 30 minutes tomorrow, I would like him. But once again, don't know if he'll play over 30 minutes. Zubac minutes have been up on an uptick again. Like I said with Jonas Valanciunas, if I knew Zubac was going to play 34 minutes tomorrow, he'd probably be in my lineup. But once again, they have shown to not play him a ton. Eric Gordon had the big game last game. Feels priced about right. Plumlee, no. Marcus Morris, I don't know why they're playing with Marcus Morris minutes over Robert Covington. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really, really doesn't. So, yeah, just doesn't. You couldn't pay me to play Marcus Morris, I don't think. So that'll do it for the video, guys. Hope you guys had a good night tonight. And please don't kill me if you play Jonas Valanciunas tomorrow and he gets his minutes limited. So talk to you guys tomorrow.